There is an invisible vault in the universe. It is not made of iron or stone, yet it holds the greatest treasures of life, wealth beyond counting, health beyond measure, joy beyond reason. This vault belongs to you. It was prepared before you were born, by divine intelligence, in perfect order and abundance. It is the storehouse of every good and perfect gift you have ever desired, and more than you can imagine. But there is a secret to opening it. No human key will turn its lock, for the door responds only to the vibration of your faith, the sound of your word, and the purity of your expectation. Many people long for their winning lottery ticket. They hold visions of a sudden windfall, yet in the next breath they speak of lack, of delay, of disappointment. They knock at the vault's door with hope in one hand and doubt in the other, and wonder why it remains shut. But the divine law is exact. The vault opens only to the consciousness of already having received. Let me tell you a story. A woman once came to me and said, "I want to win the lottery. I have prayed for years, but it has never happened." I asked her, "Do you feel rich now? Do you bless money as it comes into your hands? Do you see yourself holding the winning ticket with absolute certainty?" She admitted that she hoped for wealth, but feared it might never come. I told her, "You must become the winner in consciousness before you become the winner in experience. The vault is opened from the inside by you." She began to change her words and her thoughts. Every morning she declared, "I am divinely guided to my winning lottery ticket. The vault of heaven opens, and my riches flow to me now." She blessed her bills, she blessed the money she had, and she refused to speak of lack. Weeks later she won, not merely a sum of money, but a change of life. And she said to me, "The money was wonderful, but the real gift was knowing that the vault was always mine to open." Beloved, the winning lottery ticket is simply a symbol. Whether it comes through a slip of numbered paper, a business idea, a gift, or an unexpected blessing, the principle is the same. You must align your word with divine supply. Speak only of what you wish to experience. See it, feel it, claim it as yours by divine right. Here is the law: whatever you feel deeply and speak with conviction must come to pass. You cannot attract what you constantly contradict in thought. If you say, "I am rich but feel poor," the vault remains locked. But when you speak your word and feel its truth, heaven and earth will move to fulfill it. Today I invite you to affirm with me, "The secret vault of the universe is open to me now. My winning ticket, my perfect manifestation comes to me under grace in perfect ways. I live in a state of joyful expectancy, knowing that what is mine by divine right cannot be withheld. I am the rich, blessed child of a rich, loving Father, and I receive my good now." Say it with the full force of your spirit, not as a plea but as a decree. For you are not a beggar before the gates of heaven, you are an heir of infinite abundance. The vault is not in some far-off place, it is within your own consciousness. Remember, divine supply is limitless. Your winning ticket is already in existence, waiting for you to rise to its vibration. Every time you bless your current blessings, every time you speak words of prosperity, you are turning the key. And when the door swings open, you will see that the vault has been overflowing all along. Walk in faith, speak your word, feel your wealth, and know the secret vault is yours, and it opens now. There is, my dear friends, a place unseen by the mortal eye, yet more real than the ground beneath your feet. It is not hidden in the mountains, nor buried beneath the earth, nor locked away in some king's treasury. This place is the invisible vault of divine supply, and it was prepared for you before the foundation of the world. In it are stored the treasures of your life, every answered prayer, every fulfilled desire, every perfect gift that divine love has chosen for you. It is not a vault of scarcity or rationing, for in divine mind there is no such thing as too little or too late. It is an overflowing storehouse, a place where abundance is not counted by coins or paper, but by the limitless riches of God's imagination. It holds the very things your heart has longed for, the things you thought were lost, the blessings you dared not even speak aloud. But this vault is unlike the banks of men. It does not open to the one who begs at its door. It does not respond to frantic grasping, fear-driven striving, or the anxious cry of, "When will it come?" No, this vault has a lock fashioned from spiritual law, and the key that fits it is made of faith, spoken word, and the joyful expectancy of already having received. You may say, But I have prayed, I have waited, I have knocked, and I tell you, you have indeed knocked, but often with a divided heart. One hand knocks with faith, while the other holds the chains of doubt and complaint. You cannot open the door while clinging to those chains. The vault opens only to those who have loosed themselves from fear and fastened themselves to truth. The truth is this: what is yours by divine right is already prepared, already complete, already waiting for you to take possession of it in consciousness. The moment you claim it in the unseen, you set the law into motion, and the law is exact. It will draw the visible form of your desire into your life with mathematical precision. Let us imagine this vault for a moment. Picture it in your mind's eye, towering doors of light, glistening with the radiance of heaven. Inside, gold flows like rivers, jewels sparkle like morning dew, and opportunities, radiant and alive, wait with open hands to greet you. But here is the mystery: these treasures are not foreign to you. They are your own spiritual property. They bear your name, they carry your vibration, they belong to your soul. The world may tell you that you must toil endlessly, compete ruthlessly, or sacrifice your joy to obtain them. But the world is blind to the truth. Your good does not come from the sweat of your brow, it comes from the richness of your belief. Divine supply is not earned, it is claimed. You may say, but what if I am not worthy? And I answer, worthiness is not a thing you must attain. It is a truth you must remember. You are the beloved child of the infinite, heir to the kingdom of all. No father of love withholds bread from his child, and your heavenly Father withholds nothing from you. The moment you awaken to your true inheritance, the vault begins to open, and the flow of supply begins to pour forth. I recall the story of a man who longed for prosperity, but believed life had passed him by. His youth had been full of missed chances, his middle years full of struggles. When I told him of the vault, he scoffed. If such a place exists, he said, surely I have been locked out all my life. I told him, you have never been locked out, my friend. You have been standing before an open door with your eyes closed. I taught him to speak the word daily. I walk boldly into the vault of divine supply. All that is mine by divine right is released to me now, under grace and in perfect ways. He began to speak these words, not with desperation, but with quiet authority. Slowly his affairs shifted. Unexpected income appeared, opportunities blossomed, debts dissolved. But more than this, he discovered a peace he had never known. For when you realize the vault is already yours, the fear of loss leaves you forever. You see, the vault cannot be depleted. 10,000 may draw from it at once, yet it remains overflowing. The blessing of another does not diminish your own. The vault is the storehouse of infinite ideas, perfect timing, and divine connections. It is where the winning lottery ticket of your destiny is kept, not always a ticket of numbers, but a ticket of perfect opportunity, perfect provision, perfect joy. So how do you begin to open it? Not by pleading for it, but by praising its existence. Not by doubting the door, but by walking toward it with the certainty of a child returning home. Begin now to speak words of possession, not words of postponement. Say, it is mine now. I receive it now. I rejoice in it now. And here is the great secret. The moment you speak in the consciousness of already having received, you begin to live in the vibration that the vault responds to. This is why we move now into the next great truth, the consciousness of already receiving. For it is not enough to know the vault exists. You must live as though you have already stepped inside. To know that the vault of divine supply exists is the first revelation. But beloved, knowledge alone will not turn the key. Many have heard the truth, many have glimpsed the open door, yet they remain outside because their inner state has not yet matched the reality of the vault. You must do more than believe it is there. You must walk as one who has already stepped inside. This is the great mystery. The consciousness of already receiving. The vault does not answer to your longing. It answers to your certainty. When you say, I hope my good will come, you are standing at a distance, pointing toward the vault. But when you say, my good is here now, I possess it in spirit, therefore it appears in form, you are already in the center of its golden chamber. For in divine mind there is no soon, no someday, there is only now. Every blessing you will ever experience already exists in the eternal present. When you live in the consciousness of already receiving, you align yourself with this timeless law, and manifestation becomes inevitable. I have seen this truth in action more times than I can count. A woman once told me, I cannot imagine being wealthy, for I have been poor all my life. I said to her, then you must begin to imagine it now, not as a fantasy, but as a fact. I instructed her to picture herself signing checks with ease, paying bills with joy, giving gifts freely, and walking into stores with no thought of cost. At first she resisted. She felt like a child playing make-believe. But the more she held that image, the more natural it became. Soon she began to speak of herself differently, no longer the victim of lack, but the possessor of abundance. And as her inner world shifted, her outer world followed suit. She received unexpected opportunities, financial windfalls, and generous gifts. It was as though the money had been there all along, she said, just waiting for me to believe I already had it. Do you see the pattern? The vault opens to the vibration of completion. It will not respond to a vibration of not yet. For not yet is a denial of the present gift. Every thought of someday postpones the blessing to a horizon you never reach. But the thought of now anchors it in your present reality. Begin today to walk, speak, and act as though your desire is already fulfilled. If it is wealth you seek, bless every coin and bill as though it were the overflow of your riches. If it is love, give thanks for the loving relationship as though it already surrounds you. If it is health, affirm every step, every breath, every movement as the expression of perfect vitality. Say with conviction, I live in the consciousness of already having received, my good is mine now, and nothing and no one can take it from me. What I seek is seeking me, and we meet in divine right timing, which is always now. This is not pretending, it is possessing in spirit. When you possess in spirit, the outer world has no choice but to match your inner claim. This is the law, and the law cannot fail. Remember, you are not trying to force the future into the present. You are awakening to the truth that your good is not in the future, it is already complete in the invisible. Your role is to align with it through your thoughts, words, and feelings until it becomes as real to you as the air you breathe. Do not concern yourself with how the outer manifestation will appear. The how is the business of infinite intelligence. Your only work is to keep your inner atmosphere clear of doubt, free of fear, and rich with expectancy. When you live in this atmosphere, the law rushes to fulfill your word. Let us take a moment now to dwell in that atmosphere. Close your eyes and see yourself already living the life you desire. Feel the joy, the ease, the gratitude of it. Say quietly within yourself, this is my reality now. I am living it now, I rejoice in it now. The moment you feel the deep peace of possession, you have struck the exact tone that opens the vault. The outer form may appear in a day, in an hour, in a moment, it matters not, for in your consciousness, it has already happened. You may ask, but what if I slip back into doubt? Then return at once to the truth. Every time you choose the vibration of already done, you strengthen the pattern until it becomes your natural state. And once it is natural to you, manifestation is effortless. This leads us, beloved, into the next great law, the law of becoming the winner before the win. For it is not enough to dwell in the consciousness of already receiving in a vague, formless way. You must see yourself as the very embodiment of the result you desire. You must be the winner in thought, word, and feeling, long before the winning ticket arrives in your hand. To live in the consciousness of already receiving is to step into the atmosphere of the fulfilled desire. But, beloved, the law goes deeper still. You must not only feel the blessing as though it is yours, you must become the person who naturally holds it. This is the law of becoming the winner before the win. It is not enough to wait for the outer sign, the printed numbers, the check in the mail, the seal of human approval. These are but shadows of the inner victory. The true prize is won long before the physical evidence appears. You must embody the success you seek, walk in its stature, speak in its tone, and carry yourself with the quiet authority of one who has already triumphed. A woman once came to me with tears in her eyes. I have prayed to win the lottery, she said, for it would solve all my troubles. I asked her, what would you do if you had already won? She smiled faintly and spoke of traveling, giving to charity, dressing well and living without worry. I said, then begin at once, not by reckless spending, but by carrying the mind and manner of a woman who is already free. If you wait for the outer event to change you, you will wait forever. The outer changes because you have already changed. She began to practice it. She walked with purpose, spoke with confidence, and made small acts of generosity from the little she had. She no longer sighed when paying bills but blessed them as signs of her ability to meet every obligation. And one morning the news came. She had indeed won a substantial sum, but she told me the money felt like a natural step. I was already living as a winner. You see, the winning ticket, whether literal or symbolic, is drawn to the consciousness that matches it. The mind that lives in defeat repels victory. The mind that lives in victory attracts more of its own kind. This is why we say, like attracts like. If you wish to attract winning, you must think, speak, and act as a winner now. What does it mean to be a winner in spirit? It means to meet life with gratitude instead of complaint. It means to bless the success of others without envy, knowing their gain in no way lessens your own. It means to make decisions from faith, not fear, and to expect the best in every situation. Winners are not shaped by luck, they are shaped by belief. Belief is the mold, and the law of attraction pours your outer life into that mold. If the mold is cast in poverty thinking, the result will be lack, no matter the opportunities presented. If the mold is cast in prosperity consciousness, wealth will find its way to you through 1,000 channels. Let us not forget, becoming the winner is an inner transformation. It is not arrogance, for arrogance demands recognition from others. True victory is quiet, steady, unshakable. It does not need to be announced, for it speaks in the language of ease, peace, and joy. Affirm now with me. I am the winner now. The victory is mine now. Every step I take, every word I speak, every thought I hold is in harmony with the triumphant outcome. My winning ticket, my perfect manifestation, is drawn to me by divine law, and it cannot be withheld. Hold these words, not as a mantra of hope, but as a decree of truth. You are not asking for victory, you are declaring what is already established in the spiritual realm. I remember a man who desired to win a legal case that seemed hopeless. He came to me trembling with worry. I told him, you must see yourself already standing in the winner's place. You must hear the words of the verdict as though they have already been spoken in your favor. You must walk into the courtroom clothed in the vibration of success. He practiced this until it became second nature. On the day of the trial, he walked into that room as a man who had already won. The energy was unmistakable, and the outcome was exactly as he had envisioned. This is the power of becoming the winner before the win. The outer world mirrors your inner state. When you take on the consciousness of the winner, you no longer live in anxious waiting. You stop chasing and start attracting. You are no longer the seeker, you are the magnet. And this magnetism draws to you every form of supply, opportunity, and favor you require. Beloved, the law is certain. You cannot live in the consciousness of loss and attract gain. You cannot rehearse defeat in your mind and expect triumph in your affairs. But the moment you live as though the prize is already in your possession, you become the very frequency that calls it forth. And so we move naturally to the next great law, the law of the spoken word. For once you have become the winner in consciousness, your words will begin to match your inner state. And the spoken word, charged with belief and authority, is the decree that sets all of heaven in motion on your behalf. Once you have become the winner in consciousness, your very speech begins to change. No longer do you speak as one waiting for proof, you speak as one issuing decrees. For words are not idle sounds, they are living forces, carrying the substance of your belief into the world and shaping matter into form. The scriptures tell us, death and life are in the power of the tongue. This is no poetic exaggeration, it is spiritual law. Every word you speak is a seed cast into the soil of the universe, and the harvest it produces depends entirely upon the nature of the seed. Speak in fear, and you reap lack. Speak in faith, and you reap abundance. When you are the winner in spirit, your words become the trumpet that announces victory before it is seen. And the moment your words carry the ring of certainty, the universe moves to make them visible. A man once said to me, I have been affirming for years, but nothing has changed. I asked him, do your affirmations feel like truth when you speak them, or do they feel like wishful thinking? He admitted they often felt like pleading. I told him, the law of the spoken word does not answer to begging, it answers to command. You must speak as one who has authority, not as one asking permission to prosper. Authority in speech comes from alignment in consciousness. You cannot speak wealth while secretly fearing poverty, for the fear will cancel the decree. But when your inner self knows that the vault is yours, your words become as unshakable as divine law itself. Consider the act of a king giving an order. He does not wonder whether his command will be obeyed. He speaks, and it is done, because he understands his position. You, beloved, are no less in the kingdom of spirit. You are a child of the Most High, heir to infinite supply. Speak from that place of sonship, of daughtership, and your word will carry the weight of heaven behind it. I recall the case of a woman who desired a home of her own but was living in cramped and unpleasant quarters. She had saved no money for a down payment and had been told by many that such a thing was impossible in her circumstances. I told her to stop repeating what others had said and to start speaking her own truth. Her daily decree became, "My perfect home appears now, under grace in perfect ways. I am led to it by divine intelligence, and nothing can prevent its arrival." She spoke these words not in desperation, but in joy, as though she were announcing good news to a friend. Within months, through a series of events she could never have planned, she was given the opportunity to purchase a home that exceeded her dreams, without the usual barriers. She said, "It was as if my words carved the path for it to arrive." Beloved, every word you speak is building your world. The outer is simply the echo of the inner decree. If you wish to change your conditions, change your speech. Replace "I can't" with "I can." Replace "I never" with "I always." Replace "I hope" with "I know." And remember, it is not enough to watch your words when speaking to others, you must also guard the words you speak to yourself. The inner conversation is the constant hum that tunes your life to either harmony or discord. Let that inner dialogue be filled with praise, gratitude, and certainty, and you will see the difference in your outer affairs. Affirm with me now, "My word is my wand. I speak only what I wish to experience." Every word I speak is charged with faith, clothed in certainty, and backed by divine law. My spoken word draws to me my perfect good now, and it cannot return void. Say it until you feel its truth vibrating in your bones. For when your spoken word carries both conviction and emotion, it becomes irresistible. The law is precise. It must bring you the substance of what you declare. Do not be surprised when your circumstances rearrange themselves to match your words. Opportunities will arise, people will appear, doors will open, and sometimes the old will dissolve to make room for the new. Do not cling to what falls away, it is simply the clearing of the stage for your greater good to enter. This, my friends, leads us into the next great principle, blessing what you have, for the most powerful spoken word is the one that springs from gratitude. If you curse what is already in your hand, you cut off the very channel through which greater supply flows. But if you bless what you have, no matter how small, it becomes multiplied under grace. When you have spoken your word with authority, the law begins to move. But beloved, there is a divine secret that multiplies your good faster than any other blessing what you already have. The human tendency is to despise small beginnings, to look at what is in the hand, and call it not enough. But the moment you pronounce something not enough, you seal it in limitation. You have placed a lock upon your own supply. Gratitude and blessing are the master keys that remove that lock and allow the flow to increase. The Master himself demonstrated this when the multitude was hungry and there were only a few loaves and fishes. He did not lament the lack. He did not speak of not enough. He blessed what was there, gave thanks, and it multiplied until thousands were fed. The law is unchanged. What you bless increases, what you complain about diminishes. I have known people who waited for a great sum of money before they felt they could be generous. Yet the law works in reverse. When they began to give thanks and bless even the smallest coin, more money began to appear in their lives. They had been holding their breath, waiting for abundance to come before they breathed out generosity. But it is the outflow of blessing that creates the inflow of supply. A woman once came to me, bitter about her meager income. She said, "I can hardly live on this. I need more before I can feel grateful." I told her, "You have reversed the law. Begin now to bless every penny. Speak over it, you are divine substance, and you multiply under grace. Pay your bills with a blessing. Treat every bit of money as the messenger of plenty." At first she resisted, for it felt foolish to bless what seemed so small, but she obeyed. She began blessing her coins, her bills, her meals, even the clothes on her back. Within weeks, unexpected gifts began arriving. Her employer gave her a raise. A long-forgotten debt was repaid. She said, "It is as if the whole world was waiting for me to say thank you before it gave me more." Beloved, gratitude is not a reaction to abundance, it is the cause of abundance. Blessing is not a polite gesture, it is a spiritual command that tells the universe, "This is good, and I expect more of its kind." The moment you bless something, you acknowledge its divine origin and invite it to increase. Even in times when life feels bare, you can bless what is present. Bless the roof over your head, even if it is not the home of your dreams. Bless the work you have, even if it is not your ultimate calling. Bless the body you inhabit, even if it is not yet in perfect health. For in blessing, you lift each thing into alignment with its highest expression. Say now with me, I bless the substance I have, and it multiplies under grace in perfect ways. I give thanks for my present blessings, knowing they are stepping stones to my greater good. Every day in every way, I live in the overflow of divine increase. When you speak such words, you set a spiritual chain reaction into motion. The very vibration of blessing sends forth ripples that touch every part of your affairs. People are drawn to you, opportunities present themselves, circumstances shift in your favor. It is as though the vault hears your gratitude and opens wider to pour out more. I recall a man who was deeply in debt and feared losing his home. He came to me desperate for a quick miracle. I told him, you must bless your home, bless your creditors, bless your very life. For when you bless, you acknowledge the divine hand at work, and fear dissolves. He thought it strange to bless those to whom he owed money, but he obeyed. In a short time, unexpected work came to him, and new channels of income opened. He told me later, when I blessed what I feared, it lost its power over me. Blessing transforms the atmosphere around you. The same sum of money, the same circumstances, can become either a source of stress or a seed of increase, depending on the words you speak over them. This is why it is dangerous to complain about not enough. Complaint shrinks the seed. Blessing enlarges it, and so, my friends, blessing what you have is not simply good manners, it is divine strategy. It is the way you align yourself with the law of expansion. It is the proof that you trust divine supply, and trust is the very magnet that draws more into your life. This brings us to the final and unshakable truth: your inheritance cannot be withheld. For once you have spoken the word, walked in victory, and blessed what is in your hand, you stand in the unassailable position of divine heirship, and what is yours by divine right is bound to reach you. No power on earth can keep it from you. Once you have blessed what you have, beloved, you have stepped into the true position of divine heirship. And here is the glorious truth: what is yours by divine right cannot be withheld from you. It is not hanging in the balance, dependent upon human moods or worldly permission. It is not sitting behind some impenetrable barrier of circumstance. Your good, your supply, your perfect opportunities, your health, your peace, exists now in the realm of spirit, fully formed, with your name upon it. No man can take it from you, no law can forbid it, no delay can deny it. You may have believed that others can block your good, that a certain person, system, or mistake from your past is standing in the way, but that is a lie of appearances. Divine law does not operate through obstruction. If one door seems closed, another opens instantly, for spirit will never leave you without a path to your good. The channel may change, but the source remains the same, and the source is unfailing. I recall a woman who came to me in deep despair. She had been promised an inheritance, yet through legal maneuvering it seemed to have been taken from her. She said, "It is over. They have stolen what was mine." I told her, "They cannot take what is yours by divine right. If that channel is blocked, another will open. Your good will return to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." She began to affirm daily, "What is mine by divine right is now released to me in perfect ways. No person, place, or thing can keep it from me. I receive it now, under grace." Weeks later, a completely unrelated opportunity arose. An investment she had made years earlier without much thought suddenly matured into a far greater sum than the inheritance she had been denied. She told me, "It came from a place I never expected, but I see now it was mine all along." Beloved, the law is exact. When you stand in the consciousness of heirship, you cease to beg, plead, or chase. You claim, you decree, you rest in the knowledge that the vault of heaven holds your supply and that it flows to you through channels seen and unseen. You are not a servant at the back door of the kingdom, hoping for crumbs. You are a royal child, seated at the banquet table. When you remember who you are, you no longer accept delay as denial. You say, "My good is here now, and I walk in it now." It is not arrogance to claim your inheritance. It is obedience to spiritual law. The Father's pleasure is to give you the kingdom, and to refuse it through doubt is to reject the very love that created you. When you know your inheritance is secure, you stop worrying about how it will come. You no longer grasp at one channel as though it were the only lifeline. You release all human clutching and say, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. I thank thee that it is done. And in that release, the law works swiftly, for there is no longer resistance. You must understand, what is yours will find you. If it is a position, it will open to you at the appointed time. If it is money, it will arrive through the right channel. If it is love, it will appear in perfect form. You need not scheme, you need not force, you need only stay in the vibration of receipt. Say with me now, I am the rich, blessed child of a rich, loving Father. All that is mine by divine right comes to me now in perfect ways. Nothing and no one can keep it from me. It is mine now, under grace, and I rejoice in its arrival. When you make such declarations with faith, you anchor yourself in the unshakable truth. No storm can blow you from it. No appearance can sway you. No delay can weaken your stand. You become immovable, and in that immovability, your good is magnetized to you. I have seen this law operate in ways that defy the logic of man. People have had fortunes restored after decades, property returned after being lost, health renewed after all hope seemed gone. In each case, the turning point came when they stopped seeing themselves as victims of chance and began seeing themselves as heirs of a certain and immediate inheritance. And so, dear ones, we have come full circle. The invisible vault has always been open to you. The consciousness of already receiving is the key. Becoming the winner before the win sets you in alignment. Speaking the winning word calls forth your desire. Blessing what you have multiplies it. And knowing that your inheritance cannot be withheld seals the law in your favor. This is the way to your winning ticket, be it in numbers, in opportunity, in perfect provision. It is not chance. It is not luck. It is divine law working through you, for you as you. Walk now in the certainty of your royal inheritance. Speak your word, bless your blessings, stand unshaken, for your good is yours, your vault is full, and the law is sure. The moment you claim it, it appears. Beloved, you have now been handed the keys to the vault of heaven. You have seen that your supply is not out there somewhere. It is here, now, in the invisible, waiting for your recognition. You have learned that the moment you become the winner in consciousness before the prize appears, the law moves swiftly on your behalf. You have spoken the winning word which goes forth and does not return void. You have blessed what you already hold, multiplying it in ways unseen by human eyes. And you have stood in the royal truth that what is yours by divine right cannot be withheld, not by man, not by law, not by time itself. This is not theory, it is eternal law. It is the rhythm of the universe moving for you and through you. It is the certainty that you are never left out, never forgotten, never denied. You are not waiting for your good is waiting for you to receive it. So stand tall now, not as a beggar at the gate, but as the beloved child of the Most High. Walk as though the path is already paved with gold, because in the unseen it is. Speak as though every word is a decree of kingship, because in the kingdom it is. Bless every coin, every breath, every opportunity, for you are a multiplier of good. And above all, rest in the knowing that your inheritance is secure, your supply is abundant, and your destiny is already written in light. Let us seal it now in the language of heaven. I now step into the full awareness of my divine inheritance. I am the rich child of a rich Father, and all that is mine comes to me now in perfect ways. I bless my blessings and see them multiply. I speak my word, and it goes forth to accomplish all that I desire, under grace and in perfect timing. What is mine cannot be lost, delayed, or taken. My vault is full, my path is clear, and I walk forward in joy, abundance, and victory. It is done, it is done, it is done. And so we rejoice together, for the tide has turned, the door is open, and the kingdom is yours, now and forevermore.